Now, if you're just starting out and you're a fresh garden, you can do a soil sample. Send it in, see what that property that you're going to use for your garden is missing so that you can front load things when you get into the actual growing season. So if your soil is deficient in, say, magnesium, you can add, a little bit of magnesium into that acreage that you're using to make sure that those components are there. That's an option. Okay. Is it 100% necessary for me as a gardener to go out and, you know, take a soil sample in my yard? No, you don't have to do that. You can. Maybe you want to. Maybe you want to understand that little bit more about what is in your soil structure. But if you're going that far, my friends, do biological as well. See if what biology is in your soil. Remember, it's the biology that builds it all. It's the biology that's going to use that magnesium that you're spreading out into your soil. Because without it, nothing's going to happen. Excuse me. I think I better have a shot of coffee here. And like my wife, Silly Lily, in the chat is saying, it's all about the biology. The flip side of that is the biology means the components. That's your sand, silt, clay, organic material, your mulch, whether that's straw, whether that's whatever you have available to you for a mulch. That may just be, a cover crop that you're going to chop and drop. Okay, as long as the soil is covered, then the light and the wind can't take the moisture away. Your moisture is going to stay. Cover crops are a wonderful thing that you can put in around your plants. You can have it as a pre, how do I want to phrase this? A pre-life to bring vibrancy and biology back in the spring. You can plant something, like just like for us when the snow melts. Okay, we're still waiting for that, but we're getting into double-digit highs here starting tomorrow. So I should be, have the snow gone here in a little while. But as soon as that snow is gone, as soon as the frost starts coming out of the ground, I can be out there and I can be planting seeds to bring up a very quick type of a crop into my garden area. And then when I'm ready to plant my crop, my tomatoes, my lettuce, etc., I can do, a chop and drop. I can do crimping where I go and I just crimp it over so that it breaks the stalk so that that will die and that becomes a mulch layer that I can plant into, and it doesn't compete. Now, I know we had Bohemian Herbology on. She was showing her garden, and if you look at her video and her pictures where she's got different plants in the exact same area, multiple plants in that exact same area, and each one is fitting in different height wise, different style wise, different size wise. The more you can stuff in a small area, in a lot of ways, it's that much better. They support each other. A lot of plants are like a lot of humans are communal. We want to go out, we want to party with the neighbors. Okay? The neighbors are developing and growing a little bit different. Each plant in nature is going to grab a little bit more of, say, calcium, or this one's going to grab boron, or whatever. That plant is going to have a little bit more of one substance than the plant beside it. But it's going to share because it's living in a community. We talk a lot about caring, sharing, and community on this channel, helping each other to grow and to learn. But we never talk about that in our plant, do we? But in our garden, to be that true powerhouse of a garden, you need to combine all that life. It wants to work together. The plumbers and the electricians want to work together. They don't want to be bumping heads. They want to be helping each other to grow and nurture. The more we can look at life in this type of a mindset, where we're putting in more than we're taking. If you're doing nature walks and you're going out and looking for herbs, they tell you do not take it all. Take a small percentage. Leave the plant there still alive and vibrant and healthy. Take a small amount. That's where a lot of people in our gardens, we take it all. We want it all. If you have the option, put back a little bit. You got 100 pounds of tomatoes and you're only going to use 90 pounds of tomatoes. Take that 10 pounds, put it in your compost pile. Those molecules, that nutrients that is in that tomato, the plant, the stalk, the fruit, all of it has been created using molecules that are needed for plants to grow healthy and happy. And when you take that and you give that back into your compost, you're breaking that down. It's like a human being, okay, fermenting your food, breaking it down biologically first, fermenting it. It's much easier for you to digest it. That's the same with your compost. That's giving back. Remember, putting that compost out there, make sure you're covering it. Hey, Fried Piper, make sure you're covering it with that mulch layer. You don't want it to dry out. You want that life in there to be vibrant. You want to start seeing mushrooms come up, because then you've got mycelium. That's a higher life form. The mushroom is the fruit of the mycelium. When you're hitting that level, guys, you're starting to really rock. You're starting to get that powerhouse. I know, like up here in the farming community, when you would see somebody going from, conventional to organic, and all of a sudden they were seeing mushrooms growing. They're going, yeah, I'm there. I have these higher life forms. You need that whole life cycle, that circle of life to be there. You need the different layers of biology. You need the different layers of life forms to coexist, to come into balance. You need the birds to come in and help you clean up bugs that you may not want there. You may don't want that potato caterpillar. Oh, yeah, the sparrow comes in. Oh, yeah, I was watching them eat all those. Yeah, they're gone. I don't have to worry about that. But if you didn't have that coming in, dang, you got potato caterpillars, man, and they're eating your potatoes. You're not going to have a harvest. But yet, your neighbor that has that powerhouse, he's got all his life that exists in harmony in his garden, in his yard, that has the birds, has everything, has, all the different bugs, okay? And I use that very broadly, bugs that are needed in balance in your garden. We're gonna have some more bug guys on, some more IPM, and we're gonna start talking more about all the different varieties that are necessary to create that ecosystem, because that's what your powerhouse garden becomes. It's your ecosystem. It's your place that is going to create this abundance for your belly.